धरती के पहले रचा यहाँ, पहला है यहाँ हर ज्ञान कोश, यहाँ बुद्ध है.
I personally and my university especially is humbled and thankful for the most graceful presence of the dignitaries from India and across the world.
Vice Governor of Bali, Indonesia, Professor Dr. I.R. Tjokorda Oka, Artha, Ardana, Mukawati ji.
Friends, I would now like to invite our Honorable Vice Governor of Bali. While inviting him, it is my proud privilege to mention that Indonesia is a country of extreme diversity. 17,000 islands as one country. Many religions. People think that Indonesia is a Muslim country. It is, of course, Muslim majority country, world's largest Muslim populated country, but it has 11% Christians. And our Vice Governor comes from Bali. Indonesia has about 2% Hindus, and Bali has 87% Hindus. And all of them live together. And the motto of that country, which is the Muslim country per se, world's largest Muslim country, the national motto is like our national motto is Satyameva Jayate. Their national motto is Bhinneka Tungal Ika, meaning unity in diversity. The ancient philosophical tradition of these Eastern religions, I invite Dr. Sukawati to come and address us.
Namaste. Om Swastiastu. The Honorable Chief Minister of Arunachal Pradesh, Honorable Minister of Home and Culture Affairs, Royal Government of Bhutan, the Honorable Minister of Buddha, Sasana, Religious and Cultural Affairs, Governments of Sri Lanka, Cabinet Minister from Nepal, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Let us extend our utmost gratitude to God, the Almighty and the universe, for the blessing given to us all. Let us pray for the well-being of all creatures. Distinguished forum participants, in the last 5 years, the world has faced various calamities. We have not fully recovered yet from the COVID-19, but now we must deal with the Russian-Ukraine armed conflict that has been ongoing until today. In the beginning of 2023, we must feel devastated by the shocking news from Turkey. The earthquake in Turkey and some other places has claimed tens of thousands of lives. On behalf of the Balinese peoples and as personals, I would like to convey my deepest empathy and condolence for all the victims and their family. These various calamities should be a wake-up call for a global community that our world is not in harmony. The world is not doing well right now. The situation demands wisdom in our action. We must revitalize the virtues between our religions, tradition, and cultures in order to rebuild the harmony in our civilization and to create peace among nations. Regarding these issues on this good occasion, allow me to share several thoughts and wisdom from our ancestors as Balinese. To this day, we may know Bali is a tourism destination with its natural beauty, cultures, and hospitality of its people. However, Bali is actually more than just a destination for tourists. Bali is rich with virtues and values that are reflected in our life and culture as Balinese. which uphold the principles of maintaining harmony with God, human, and nature. The Balinese people have strong belief in a Tri Hita Karana philosophy. Tri mean three, Hita mean happiness, and Karana mean cause. The Tri Hita Karana philosophy mean three causes of happiness throughout harmonious relationship between human and God, human and others, human and natures. Tri Hita Karana is also crystallization of Balinese Hinduism and culture's values that are transformed into fundamental of all Balinese cultures and tradition. This philosophy highlights the holistic perspective of Balinese in understanding the reality in our world and our life. Human as the only creator which has conscience and logics must act as a guardian of the harmony of God-human nature relation. Our belief commands us to perform bhakti to God, the origin and ultimate destination of all lives, sangkan paraning dumadi. Our conscience and logics allow humans to judge, contemplate, and decide its action on behaviors to others, including natures. Its mean Tri Hita Karana is the basic of Balinese concept of humanism and placed human as the center of its own happiness, others' well-being, and the nature's preservation. Balinese humanism emphasizes the responsibility that fall in our hand which dictated both harmony and disharmony in life. Hence, the recent harmony should be treated as a moment for human to complete our role in the realm of religious or parahyangan, humanism or pawongan, and ecology or permahan. These three dimensions allow us to introspect and respect the whole phenomena that happen in all aspects of our life. The current trend shows sign of degradation of our relation with God. We care too much about materialism that is usurped our way of worshiping God. As a result, we now witness all form of commodification and secularism in religion activities. We tend to do the religious activities only as formality. Furthermore, the role of religion is the compass of our morality has been weakened. The splendor of our religion is not followed with greater morality and spirituality. Social conflict in both actual and virtual world, triggered by religion's identity, have been escalated recently in various countries. The added value of this humanism, which confirm the existence of God within the soul of all creatures, has not been misinterpreted as the source of conflict instead of the source of inner peace. The weakened theo-humanism in our current world has affected the relation among humans. The fundamental social values such as friendship and affection have almost disappeared due to the rise of materialism, hedonism, and pragmatism. Our social relation and interaction tend to be maintained for the sake of our own interests, without supported by universal humanity values. The current phenomena of modern conflict shows that occurred due to political or economic interest. Unfortunately, this conflict greatly increased. It shows that humans have lost their capability to feel empathy even to their own species. Dignation in all life aspects also contribute in the change of the way we live for our life. in change the way of interact with each other. We often choose to interact more with our yet than to real people. Undoubtedly, individualism and materialism have been repositioned themselves at the center of our modern civilization. Environmental degradation is also a crucial issue for all destinations. Deforestation, massive pollution in our air, water, and soil, the carbon emission, greenhouse effect, the sedimentation in river and lakes, the plastic waste, and other ecological problems has been continuously become threat to our existence to Earth. Human greed orders our wisdom leading to exercise explanation of our natures in pursuing materialism. We no longer think about the long-term effect of our action. At this point, I want to remind us all of what Mahatma Gandhi once said. Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's need, but not every man's greed. The phenomenon of disharmony in Parahyangan, Pawongan, and Pelemahan that is currently being faced by the world's community shows the weakenings of the views of holism in the human mindset. This is certainly contrary to the spirit of Balinese wisdom, which understands life as a holistic and integral unit so that humans are obligated to build harmony. The theological awareness that God is center of everything establishes a religious obligation to build a harmonious relationship with God. Awareness that all humans are brothers because they are created by the God Almighty, Vasudeva Kutu Bakam, is the basis for implementing social obligation to build harmony with others. Ecological awareness that humans are bound and dependent on nature and the environment established an obligation to maintain ecosystem sustainability. This theological, social, and ecological awareness shapes the religious character of the Balinese. Hindu in Bali believe that the universe and everything in its an emanation of God, so they align all movement and their lives with divine values implemented in religious ritual. The nickname Bali as an island with 1,000 temples marks how the Balinese manifest their belief in God. The Balinese way of respecting each other, for example, is manifested in the Tumpak Turut ritual, which is synonyms with Love Day. The Tumpak Wariga ritual is a moment for Balinese to respect plant, and the Tumpak Kandang ritual to honor animal. The belief of Mother Earth, Father Akasa, so has Hindu in Bali transformed the Vedic teaching as ecological wisdom as maintain the balance of nature than its environmentals. During Nyepi Day or Silent Day in Bali, Hindu in Bali has physical activities for 24 hours. We often close all flight routes to and from Bali for 24 hours. If one thought it was only for one day, this ceremony was able to make a major contribution to improving air quality in Bali. Nevertheless, I must admit that a practical reality, the values of this political gift began to degrade over time. The same thing may also experience in others Eastern countries, including India, as the older brothers, who has spread the values of Dharma to Bali. We must admit that wisdom, style, materialism, Hinduism, and pragmatism are not dominant values that change the orientation and lifestyle of the Balinese today. Therefore, the provincial government of Bali continues to do our best to recontextualize and revitalize local policies in Bali's development. One of them is throughout the development vision of Bali, namely Nangun Sad Kerthi Loka Bali, building 6 sources of Bali natural welfare. Distinguished participants, Bali vision of Nangun Sad Kerthi Loka Bali, explored from one of the literary texts, namely the Balinese Purana. In the text, it is stated that leaders and his people must be able to realize Sad Kerti, or 6 sources of prosperity. The 6 sources of well-being consist Atma Kertih, Jana Kertih, Jagat Kertih, Wana Kertih, Samudera Kertih, and Danu Kertih. These 6 aspects are actually the real implementation of Tri Hita Karana in the context of development by holistically prioritizing religious, socio-cultural, and environmental aspects. Atma Kertih is the first effort that must be implemented because Atma, or soul, is the essence of human life. Hindus in Bali believe that Atma is the smallest part of Paratma, or God. The essence of the soul is tutur, namely spiritual awareness in the form of truth, or sat or satyam, purity, chit or sivam, and happiness, ananda, saudaram. However, the relationship between the soul and matters cause the soul's consciousness and decrease, even forgetting its authenticity, so that humans are shaped by the change of rebirth or purna bhava. Atma Kertih is an effort to restore the souls through awareness, matutur ikang atma rijat titya, through appreciation and perspective of religious values. In the context of Bali developments, Atma Kertih is manifested throughout religious development as a whole, both in the dimension of knowledge or tatwa, moral behaviors or susila, and religious ceremonies or acara as an effort to create harmonious relationship with God or Parayangan. Second, Jana Kertih, were taken from the words Jana, which means human. In reference to the character and qualities of human is individuals being. Human as individuals have dimension of soul and body as an existential unit. The body is the vessel of the soul to achieve life goals, or catur purusa artha. Throughout the implementation of Dharma teaching, Moksatam Jagatita Yacha Iti Dharma. Therefore, Jana Kertih is realized by developing the health sector from a healthy body and the education sector to build a strong soul. Jana Kertih's main goal is to create quality Balinese peoples, both in thought, word or discourse, and action or kayika. Jagat Kertih refers to the social words Jagat as a representation of the space of human life and its interaction with others and in environment. Jagat Kertih aims to developing productive social space, such as empowering social organization, creating jobs, entrepreneurship, and so on, which requires all the potential in human resources of Bali to develop optimally. Bali Provincial Law Number 4 of 2019 concerning traditional village, for example, reflect the commitment of the province government of Bali to empower traditional institution as a forum for carrying our social, culture, and religion activities of Balinese people. Jana Kertih and Jagat Kertih, both them are the unit for the realization of harmonious relation between human. Wana Kertih, Samudera Kertih, and Danu Kertih describe three ecological entities which are living space for all creatures, namely land or pertiwi, water, apa, and akasa, Wana Kertih. Come from the words Wana beings mean forest, but can be interpreted more broadly. So, ladies and gentlemen, model is only oriented toward material program is certainly not in line with Eastern wisdom, which emphasize material and spiritual balance. In addition, material-oriented development also has potential to create conditions as disharmony in various aspects of life. Social cultures conflict, which undoubtedly continue to develop, and environmental problems will continue to spread threat to human existence and all creatures in this earth. Therefore, culture's transformation and development must continue to be carried out in order to mix culture's fibers and new values that are in harmony with the ideals and expectations of society. The phenomenon has become a reflection moment to look back at the development of Eastern worlds with their respective cultures and polities. Distinguished forum participants. Concluding these remarks, I would like to invite all of us to continue exploring various wisdom stories in religions, texts, social texts, and community cultures, the driving force of development. The cultures-based development vision will bring people closer to the highest ideas and goals in life. Atmanam Moksatam Jagatita Yaca Iti Dharma. On this occasion, I also invite all participants to visit Bali, enjoy the enchanting beauty of Bali, natures, cultures, and our peoples. Thank you very much. Om Santi, Santi, Santi. Om Namaste.
Thank you, Excellency. That was a wonderful speech coming from you. If we don't look at you, we think that some profound Hindu spiritual scholar is giving a talk. It was such a wonderful talk. Thank you very much. Friends, when you listen these words from a scholar or from a leader from Bali, please remember that this is that part of Indonesia which is one of their middle or down south parts, which is disconnected from India for 1500 years. Yet, you hear from them, Atmano Mokshardham Jagadhitayacha. You hear about Atma Paramatma, you hear about Satchidananda. That shows how they have upheld this great tradition, this great religion, Dharma, that they inherited from this great land of India. Although they are disconnected, they try to keep it up. And in that, our Balinese government also does yeoman service in upholding the dharmic values in that country. Great applause to them.
I would like to call upon Professor Alkesh Chaturvedi to please felicitate the chair of the session, Sri Ram Madhav, Member Governing Council, India Foundation.